I am Sun Tzu. Long ago, I wrote The Art of War. It was a book about armies, battles, and survival. But war is not only fought on battlefields. It is fought in boardrooms, in elections, in negotiations, and in everyday life. Each lesson you will hear is a weapon for the mind, a strategy for victory. Let us begin.
First, let's be perfectly clear about what we're discussing. This is not a game. War is a matter of life and death. For the state, it is the road to either safety or complete ruin. So to neglect its study is to invite disaster. Your focus must be absolute. To truly grasp this art, you have to understand its structure. First, we'll reinforce the stakes, why this is a matter of life and death. Then we'll dive into the 5 constant factors that govern every conflict. From there, we'll examine the crucial virtues of the commander. And finally, I'll show you how to use all of this to actually forecast victory or defeat. All right, let's begin. You see, all warfare, every single conflict, is governed by 5 constant factors. These are the pillars you must consider in all of your deliberations if you want to understand what's really happening on the ground. Here they are. Memorize them. The moral law, heaven, earth, the commander, and finally, method and discipline. These are the 5 keys to victory, and we're going to explore each one in turn. First, we have the moral law. Now, what is this? This is the very foundation of unity. It's that unshakable bond that causes the people to be in complete accord with their ruler. So much so that they will follow him into any danger, completely undismayed. This is a force that simply cannot be broken from the inside. Second on our list is heaven. This represents all those forces of nature that you just can't control. Think about it. The cycle of night and day, the bitter cold, or the scorching heat, the turning of the seasons. A wise commander doesn't fight against these things. No, a wise leader adapts to them and uses them. Third, you must consider Earth. This is the battlefields itself, the very ground beneath your feet. It's about distances, big and small. It's about knowing where there's danger and where there's security. It's about understanding open ground versus narrow passes. Knowing the terrain is absolutely critical, not just for success, but for survival. The fourth factor is the commander. You see, the leader is the pivot point for the entire army. Everything turns on their character, their wisdom, their sincerity, their benevolence, their courage, and their strictness. These qualities literally determine the fate of every single person under their command. And finally, the fifth factor, method and discipline. This is the structure, the nuts and bolts of your force. How the army is organized, a clear chain of command, keeping the supply roads open, controlling your budget. You could have the most courageous army in the world, but without this, it will collapse under its own weight, I guarantee it. It really is that simple. The one who understands and masters these 5 factors will win. The one who does not will fail. Victory isn't about luck. It's about a deep, fundamental knowledge of these principles. Let's dig a little deeper into that 4th factor, the commander. Because the quality of the general is the bulwark of the state. If that bulwark is strong and complete, the state will be strong. But if it's flawed, the state will be weak. So a commander must have these 5 virtues. Wisdom, to plan and see what others miss. Sincerity, so that his troops trust his every word. Benevolence, to show he values his soldiers' lives. Courage, to be decisive when everything is on the line. And strictness, because without order, you have nothing but chaos. If a leader is lacking in even one of these, it's a crack in the armor of the entire state. So, you have the principles now, but how do you actually use them? I will teach you. With this framework, you can deliberate with such clarity that you can see the outcome of a conflict before a single sword is even drawn. Here's how you do it. You make a comparison, you take stock, you ask yourself these 7 questions. Which ruler truly has the people behind them with that moral law? Which of the 2 generals is more capable? Who has the advantages of weather and terrain, of heaven and earth? On which side is discipline taken more seriously? Which army is actually stronger? Whose officers and men are better trained? And finally, in which army is there absolute certainty in rewards for valor and punishments for failure? Answer these honestly, and the victor will become obvious. And so you see, the battle isn't really won on the field. It's won long before, in the temple, in the mind of the general who does the calculations. Many calculations will lead you to victory. Few calculations will lead you to defeat. So can you imagine the fate of someone who makes no calculation at all? It's ruin, pure and simple. So I leave you with this question. Heed my counsel, because these ideas go far beyond the battlefield. Apply them to your own challenges, your own goals. In your endeavors, whatever they may be, have you truly made your calculations? Use what you have learned today. See your path to victory before you even take the first step.
You have heard one principle of strategy. Reflect on it, practice it, and make it your own. In the next episode, I will reveal why all warfare begins with deception. Until then, prepare yourself.
This has been another dispatch from the Dead Expert Society. The dead have spoken, but what say the living? Let us know below.